if Victor comes to me and I'm the Spurs GM, y'all want to win. Hold on. Call Charlotte on the phone. I'll give you these two. Say, for example, we get the Raptors pick, so we have 5-1. You can have these. You can take these, and you can take the third pick.
Spicy.
You can take these 3.
You're giving the
I'll
Hawks
throw in
20,
Keldon Johnson for
25?
money to make it work. Give me LaMelo. I'll even throw in next year's Hawks pick. Take that. Give me LaMelo, and I'm fine.
And you got him. You got Vassell. I mean, yeah.
Now we're talking something.
And you would still have picks. You would still have your first
And
next year.
The
You could keep
kicker
the Hawks.
is LaMelo's like 23 years old.
Then what
Super
happens
young.
when LaMelo only plays 30 games?
I was going to say,
bad energy.
I'm getting excited. I'm getting excited in here. You talking about LaMelo go to the
you gotta
Spurs.
bring bad
But
energy.
that's just the unfortunate truth.
You,
though.
but
You're
you put
talking
him,
to me.
put him in an organization.
But you're talking to, but you're. This isn't just a gamble.
Proven organization,
Sounded crazy
proven
for a
winning
second.
organization. What if he gets there and listen? He's not going to play 80 games, but he consistently gives you 60 to 70 games a year, and he's healthy for the playoffs.
When was the last time he played 60?
We're hoping Porzingis this
2021,
year. He's pushing
2022.
60.
And
The last
Knock
2
on
seasons,
wood.
LaMelo has played 22 games and 36.
Listen, but that year that he played the over 60, he was an all-star.
last year, I feel like they shut him down early. To be fair, he's taken the Charlotte Hornets team to the play-in twice.
The team hasn't been garbage around.
The
them
team
when they
started
went-
winning when LaMelo started starting, though. That was the thing.
But the team was all right. It wasn't
It,
terrible.
it was mid. I'm not going to go back and forth with you how good the team was.
The
It was
team,
a bunch of
the
mid.
team last year was pretty ass.
Oh, but they didn't do anything last year. Talking about 2
The
years
Hornets
ago.
are saying?
Oh, what do you mean? The year that?
LaMelo's
Both
rookie
years.
year and his second year
Yes.
when they made the play-in.
No, for sure.
I feel like those teams were solid.
But
They were solid.
I want to say solid, but my point is,
Like playing solid. I'm not talking about like, top 6
They're
teams.
a
Cool.
playing team.
my point
Like
is,
Bulls
you-
solid, which y'all are right now.
No, we're better. But you put LaMelo.
He's right.
No, we're better.
It's maybe by hair.
No, it's not by here.
No,
We
no,
just beat
yeah.
Minnesota.
No, you're
Respect
just
us.
gassing.
You
Bulls
used to beat
right now.
Minnesota twice.
You
this
did
year,
just
right?
lose to the Nets, though.
Who cares about that win? It's all about the ones that matter.
Okay.
But you put LaMelo with the Spurs, that Spurs team probably becomes better by far than that Charlotte team.
Maybe it's just me, but I don't want the Spurs to rush this. They don't have to.
You thought they would make the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
So what do you mean?
That-
you
no,
don't?
no, easy.
Trading for
Two
LaMelo
different
Ball is
arguments.
trading
Two
for LaMelo
different
Ball is not
arguments.
rushing it.
No, but if you think Victor is that, my point is, if you think Victor is
But they
that
didn't
good,
make the
no, I'm
playoffs.
saying, look, my point is,
Or
if you
playing.
think Victor is that
Victor
good,
is that
so
good.
he can take you to the play in a bad Spurs team that we thought would be that bad. Why are you not thinking? No, we need to start making moves now. Like we need to start.
Well, what's
figuring
there to
this
win
out
on?
Especially
now.
because that DeJounte trade blessed them as much as they did. Those Hawks picks are going to be good. They are valuable. You can use those picks to give them back to Atlanta to go get Trae Young. You can use those picks to go and get a LaMelo Ball. I think you're right. In the perfect world, LaMelo stays healthy. He is a better matchup with Victor Wembanyama because of the sheer size. But for a safety blanket, given the fact that we already know what Trae Young is, you put Trae Young in that scenario where it may
I'm cool
cost
with
you
either.
a little bit. No, either is going to be cash.
Yeah, I'm cool
But
with
I
either.
say if I had to choose one,
Yeah, you take the
you
healthy
take
guy.
the safety or the safety blanket where Trae's still young. Trae's been an all-star multiple times. Well, I think it is multiple-time all-star. He's been in the playoff setting. He's been amazing in a playoff setting. And you're pairing him now with one of the future faces of the game.
And Wemby's not getting paid.
He's not.
You not have to pay Wemby for 4 years.
But I just feel as if I look at all the teams that are playing really well at the top.
But is trading Trae for Trae Young? I'm sorry to interrupt you. But is trading for Trae Young and LaMelo rushing it?
I think it is rushing it because LaMelo Ball is a different case
Mm-hmm.
because LaMelo Ball, his trade value is much lesser than Trae Young's.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to give up less to go get LaMelo Ball
For sure.
But there is an injury factor with LaMelo
100%.
that you have to consider.
Most definitely.
With Trae Young, it's the assets management that you have to consider. I think trading your picks for the next 4 or 5 years for Trae Young when the Spurs talent all around isn't up to par yet, and it would be a mistake. I don't see anything wrong with drafting players around Wemby and letting these players grow with him, drafting well, developing, and then signing a vet, 1 or 2 vets or 3 in there to kind of accelerate a little bit like the Rockets did with their team.
But
Because there isn't a chance you'll get a player of LaMelo or Trae Young's caliber if you sit there and wait. That's the thing. If you have an opportunity, and LaMelo's obviously they both have concerns LaMelo more because of the injury.
Well, if you're
concern.
drafting in the top 5, top 10, you're expecting a high level starter.
but you're 100%. But you have an opportunity to get stars right now.
And also, trading for Trae Young makes free agents more inclined to sign with San Antonio.
I don't think that. No,
With
I don't know
Trae
about
and
that part.
Wemby?
No.
I think Wemby by himself is making me look
I
at San
think
Antonio
players-
like I'm going over
Trae
there.
and
Trae or
Wemby?
not.
Just say Wemby, and it's like
Players ain't even
That's
going
what
to
I'm
sign.
saying.
Players ain't even go to sign to San Antonio when they had a dynasty going on
They never
they
really
really
went to
didn't.
the
I was
game.
gonna say,
the game. That was
they never really
drafting,
went to the game.
developing.
because they always.
They had
developed
Tim Duncan,
homegrown.
Tony Parker.
No, but I'm
Toronto.
saying like, even with Tim Duncan, like nobody ever was saying I want to go to play with the Spurs with Tim Duncan. Like, nobody
I
said
think
that.
Wemby and Tim Duncan are different.
I don't think you have to change your.
I think what matters more is the market. That's what matters more. It's the market.
San Antonio's not the best market.
I was
in
going
the
to say,
world,
but Texas, it
but
is
that- but
tax free.
teams like that, they make moves via trades.
I think teams like the Spurs develop, and I think that's what they should do with Wemby. They should
I don't
develop.
think they're gonna
around him.
do that. You can't.
And
You're not
even-
gonna luck up on
and
Tony
even
Parker
getting-
again.
It's a different game now.
I don't think so.
If Wemby was
Why
just
is it
a
different?
regular number 1 overall pick, or not even regular, just a great number 1 overall pick, I would get you because your best player's not going to be ready to get to that level yet. Wemby next season could legitimately be on a team, like if he had the right supporting cast, that could carry you in the playoffs.
How
I
many
think.
teams in the last 10 years have been bought, not built?
Suns.
We're just saying to make
That
a trade.
have won a championship.
Oh, none. Golden State. I guess Kevin Durant. You could say
KD,
was bought.
yeah.
The
Miami
Lakers.
big three, or
Miami.
yeah,
The Lakers.
Lakers,
Cavs. When we say they're bought.
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. And then the Lakers.
True. Facts, because LeBron went back.
Yeah. In the West, if you specifically talk about the West, OKC, they went no.
Nuggets is built.
Nuggets built. Warriors, you would say the first stint built, second stint built. That's pretty much it.
Would you say that Trae Young's better than Jamal Murray?
Oh God.
I think so.
I would also say yes.
And the Nuggets have won a championship without having a Trae Young level player, but they got the
They
guy.
also had the most fortunate moment in their history
talking about
by
luck here.
drafting. Yes,
You talk about luck.
correct. Drafting Nikola Jokic in the second
Like
round.
even
Yeah,
the Spurs, bro. Like it's luck.
that they got Victor Wembanyama now though.
Yeah, but
that was
yeah.
1-1.
All right, here's the
But
thing.
Victor Wembanyama, but to me, it doesn't matter about the luck factor or not because ultimately, we all believe Wembanyama can be the best player in the world.
But year one, Victor, like we were anticipating him to come in and be great. Jokic being what he is surprised the entire world.
But that's not the conversation here. The conversation is that we've seen a team.
But there was no
Bill-
reason to speed up the Nuggets timeline because Jokic wasn't proven to be this superstar.
I would kind of disagree because.
in
Yeah, he
year
didn't
one
become
and year
elite
two.
to like
That's what I'm saying.
year 4.
But this is why I would disagree.
Victor's
when
he's elite at something right now.
When the Nuggets went to the playoffs in 18-19 season and they got eliminated by Portland, that series went to 7 games.
yes,
You knew at that time what you had and the core you had. The very next year in the bubble, they went to the conference finals. Jamal Murray from that point forward
I think that
was
the moment
hurt.
we knew.
And that was in that moment right there, the Nuggets could have made a move and said, we don't want to count on this injury-prone guy. We want to get a player who can help Nikola Jokic win now. Instead, they were patient with Jamal's recovery, and they ended up winning a championship.
The Spurs don't have a Jamal guy on the roster.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
different
but
case.
you're telling me right now they're about to get 2 top 10
And
picks.
they've got very.
Brother, have you seen this draft? Have you looked at it at all?
he has.
the draft in the
this-
top 5, top 10, they could get some solid starters.
Get solid starters.
Yes. But
there's no Trae Young.
This is solid.
There's
There's
no
no Jamal
LaMelos.
Murray. There's
Nobody
no Trae
thought
Young.
Trae Young was going to be a bona fide,
He was a top 5
consistent all-star when he got drafted either.
I don't know. People
But
were
he was
pretty
top
high
five.
on him.
Trae
He was
Young
top
was
3.
awesome in college, but his transition to the league
His first year. But
was
Trae Young,
a little rough his
Trae
first
Young's
year.
potential is way higher than all of these guards put
I
together.
mean, I agree with you, but at the same time, it's like I don't think. My whole point is you don't have to rush a move. Even if the Spurs were to get Trae Young or LaMelo Ball next year, they're not a top 5 team in the West.
But
Nah,
they,
year
you,
two, no,
you
but
could
they're-
argue
they-
they have one of the better duos in the game, though.
you can
They
argue
have
they
one
can
of
make
the
the
better
playoffs
duos in the
now.
game, but they could make the playoffs if they make the right moves around Wemby going into next season too. They can make the play.
Maybe. I mean, we're looking at
What are the moves that can be
Maybe.
made that can make them
Like
a
what's your
team?
percentage chance that the Spurs win a championship with Trae Young and Wemby in the next 5 years?
What's name a free agent?
Let me not get crazy. That sounds
Well,
so good,
obviously you can't
though.
get crazy because it's a crazy projection down the line, even because the roster's not even built, and you have to trade things to go get Trae Young.
The Spurs
But now Vassell can be a true two.
The Spurs have gotten good free agents and good talents
What
when
if
they had
the
their
Hawks
big
want
three,
Devin
bro.
Vassell in exchange? They want
I'm
to be
not
in the
doing that
package.
trade.
You have to say
Respectfully,
yes.
I'm saying no.
Cool.
You have to say
I'm not
yes.
We
giving up
talking
Devin
about
Vassell.
we're not saying the Spurs
Yeah.
getting Trae Young for nothing.
You're right.
They gotta
No,
give a lot.
No, but you have a bunch
They're
of draft
getting
picks. You have
yes.
your own first picks. You're not getting
You
Devin Vassell.
think the Hawks? You think the Hawks are standing there like, yeah, we're gonna take these 2 top 10 picks in this draft that we know is whack
you
for
have
Trae Young?
future picks
Nah,
too, and you have some
Spurs
younger,
have a lot
more
of
interesting,
picks.
Keldons. And they're not obviously Devin Vassell, but then I'm with you because you don't really have a third option. Devin Vassell could be a damn good one of the best third options in the league.
We just seen OKC be super patient with SGA, and
That was
now
a
they're reaping the
different
benefits.
case. They traded for SGA, traded away Paul George, and they didn't know he'd be this
If
good.
they knew
They
SGA
didn't
was going to
know-
be this good, do you think they would have sped it up
like,
faster?
they didn't know he'd be a
'Cause that's what
31
Wemby
point
is
per
right
game
now.
scorer.
This is Wemby. Like we know
Victor,
he's
year
going to
one,
be
they
MVP.
know. Like he's him. This is one of them ones.
SGA has been all NBA since last year, and OKC still hasn't made a rush trade like getting Siakam or Lauri Markkanen.
No.
I think that's pretty telling.
No,
on
they
how
have-
much they believe in a young core.
No, they
are literally being patient right now.
Yeah, they are because they have a young core to be patient with. The Spurs don't have anything but
don't.
that.
Well,
Well,
J-Dub got
you have the one guy. Wemby is a rookie. Like
Bro,
he's
Chet
not
was
in
a-
year
yeah, but
6
Chet- but
or 7.
You're talking
He's
about
a
these
rookie.
dudes were relying on top 5 kicks.
Can we
outside
at
of
least
J-Dub.
wait for the Spurs to see what they are in the next 2 seasons before we say that they just gotta trade their assets for an all-star?
Well, I mean, they have to make a move.
They do.
That's drafting and
They
seeing
don't-
if the
I mean,
player.
they don't. I mean, they
hits.
don't. They don't have to make a move.
No, they have to make some like whether it be a good free agent or stuff like that.
Yeah.
If they get some good players, we're gonna think, all right, this team needs more by the end of the year. Again, that's what
But
we're gonna think.
and that's not a
if
bad
we're
thing
viewing them
going
in
into year 2
terms
of
of a
Wemby.
contender.
No, I know, but you're talking about teams who their second best players are stars, and you're talking about let's draft a player in this. If this was if this was next year, and they had like Cooper Flagg or Ace Bailey coming in, and they had an opportunity at that, I'd say, wait, cool, that's fine. You're bringing in 2 guys that are like that, but you're talking about a draft class that is literally a bunch of good players, good solid ass players, but nobody that's taking the cake. Nobody has been consistent. So you're talking about a class that they have to wait for to bring in 2 solid players, which is fine. They don't have a Tony Parker like Tim Duncan at. They didn't luck into that. They didn't luck into Jamal Murray. They have to go get talent now.
Yeah, he's a rookie, bro. He's not. He's what? 20, he just turned 20 years old.
I don't think that matters. He's a different type of rookie.
Yes, it does matter.
It's a different type
because
of
why are
rookie.
you rushing something that you haven't even seen come yet? Like, listen,
We've seen it.
if the
It's
Spurs
here.
if the Spurs draft 2 players in the top 10 and they're trash, they cannot play, then I'm like, okay, you should probably make a trade because you clearly can't draft
I don't
and
think
get
that's a key-
serviceable
I don't think
players.
that's a key
But if they
draft.
if
But
they
you
draft
can't make that if the players suck. Of course, you got to make the trade. That's hindsight. That's why we're saying now. I'd rather have the proven player because I already know Wemby's proven. He's a rookie, but he's proven that he could be the best player in the league.
The
And I think
best-
as soon as next season,
the
Not
best
player,
luxury
sorry.
the best luxury to have in sports in both the NBA and the NFL right now is having a team that you aren't paying much money to.
Okay.
There's a reason why in the NFL quarterbacks on a rookie scale contract they get high level talent around them.
But this is
They
Wemby on your
usually-
rookie. This is Wemby on your quarterback contract. This is going to be when he signs his extension, bro. That's going to be like $90 million a year probably. Luka's
But
got to
you
be
bring in-
70.
I'll
a
be
year.
honest. I'm not thinking too much about the money when it comes to that because look at the Boston Celtics. They were able to give Jalen
Yeah.
Brown a max. They
How
were
did
able
this
to
year
There's
look
no,
scary?
there's no hard. There's not like a hard cap in
Tatum.
the NBA
And
like
now
there is in
we can
the
bring in
NFL.
Kristaps Porzingis.
Yes, I understand what you're saying, but if you now make a trade for somebody who is gonna demand 45 to 50 mil a year, that's a lot of
LaMelo
money you're
don't demand
allocating. That's
LaMelo's contract isn't crazy.
Trey Young's contract, I believe, is around that area.
LaMelo's 35, 38, 41, 44, 46.
That's honestly not going to be bad.
And he's at 10 mil.
You said LaMelo's or who's Trey
I
Young's?
said LaMelo's. I said LaMelo's.
So LaMelo is on a 5-year supermax. He's getting 40 mil, 43 next year, 45, and then 48 mil at 28 years old. Like, I feel like we should at least give the Spurs a draft in a free agency with Wemby until we just say they got to make this star level move. I at least want to see them have a draft to where they can get a player and they can develop him.
I don't know, man.
How much
The
young talent
Spurs
do they have?
drafting?
They
Players that I feel
Take
I
away
feel as
Wemby
if,
and take away
I
Wemby.
feel
how
great
much
about
draft?
Devin
How
Vassell.
much-
Everyone else, there's no one else I feel great about. Anyone else could get moved.
They got blessed with number 1 overall last season. Drafted Jeremy Shohan over J-Dub. Drafted him over Jalen Duren, who's been playing pretty solid.
That's fine. Victor Wembanyama, Devin Vassell, Trey Jones, backup point guard.
No.
Anyone other than those two can get moved in a heartbeat with all due respect.
And even Trey Jones could get moved.
Yeah, and
Well,
said
that's not
Would you
your
rather
question. That
Peyton
wasn't your
Watson
question.
or would you rather Jeremy Shohan?
I don't think. Wait,
Payne Watson.
when have we ever added a backup point guard in a young core?
Cason Wallace is OKC's young core. He's the backup point guard.
But I think he has like potential to be like a low end.
Well,
star.
he also
But
You
for
think-
the
you think
majority of
Trey
his
Jones has that
OKC
potential?
tenure, he's probably your backup.
No,
that's solely due
maybe.
to circumstance, though.
Okay, I understand that, but Trey Jones isn't a garbage player. Like I
don't think he's
and
garbage.
your
Cason
question-
Wallace would immediately start on the Spurs.
Your question to me was, what players do you feel good about on the Spurs young core?
Yeah.
And to me, good about means that I think they're serviceable NBA players. I'm not saying all-star, but I think they are players that can be in a rotation. And I feel like that matters. Victor Wembanyama, Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson.
You really feel good about him?
He's a rotation player.
He's a rotation
$20 million.
player. He's a rotation.
He's a rotation player. I mean, they already paid him. He's a rotation player.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not looking at that like.
Zach Collins isn't a
not part of
bad
your
player
core.
either.
Keldon Johnson isn't
It's
a part
just
of
when
your
you
core.
compare
Keldon, I
when you
agree.
compare it to
Are we
the
talking
Thunder.
core? Solely core?
We're just talking
what-
about players that you feel good about that like can be good NBA players, really. That's what the
But
question
I
was.
don't think there's nothing on this roster to really be patient about outside of Wemby and Vassell. Like
Yeah,
the
they're a
Thunder,
bad
it's like
team.
Well, yeah, to
Chet
be-
got hurt. J-Dub year one as a rookie was sensational. SGA had this breakout. Okay, we got a core of 3 guys that could legitimately be on this team for a decade.
Well, Devin Vassell, I think you could be patient with.
I'm 1,000%.
fine.
That was him and Wemby. Those are the two.
He's somebody to me that I feel like he's a younger Chris
He'll be
Middleton.
24 this summer. So
Yeah.
Vassell?
You still have time. You still
20
have time.
Devin Vassell's a
Rick,
20
Stop
point game
pretending
scorer.
like he's old.
24, bro. He's damn good for 23.
no, I'm saying it's time to like start being consistent.
Devin
That's all I'm
Vassell's
saying.
averaging 20
it's
at
time
20
to-
years old. I mean,
time
he's
to
a
He's a
good
dog.
player.
He's a dog.
He's a good player.
And he's efficient.
Yeah, I wasn't saying like a bad thing. I'm saying
Oh,
it's time to start
ramping up.
Yeah, ramp it up. That's all. Like,
Okay.
that's-
I thought he was saying.
Yeah, I don't know.
No,
He's
I'm saying it's
getting
time to
old.
start ramping it up.
Got it. I was just like, what
I'm
am
that's
with
what-
him, bro. 27.
I know.
No
I
interest.
know.
You look at these young dudes; they starting to ramp it up. Like
He is
Well, I
ramping
don't
it
know
up
if Devin
though.
Vassell's going to be a top 10 player, but he's going to be a, like I said,
You don't gotta
the
be a
best
top 10
third
player,
option in the
man.
league.
He could be a good third option. Exactly. Well, that's why you have the draft when they're going to get a top 5 pick. That's the other top prospect you add to this team.
brother, you're not getting a number 2 guy.
Got a
in
full
this draft.
topic list, by the way, fellas.
We
Here
not,
we go.
we
So
not saying,
not on the top
bro,
list.
I feel like you're not hearing me. I'm not saying they're going to get top guy. I'm saying they're going to get a good player.
No. Okay, I get what you're saying, but Devin Vassell's a third, which means
Right now-
you need a number 2, some in this form of a rookie deal that Victor has. You need to get a number 2 guy. That's all we're saying.
He needs to taste the playoffs in his rookie contract.